So I'm making a video on my newest pistol today. I've been trying to get this video made for several weeks now. Last time I came out here, there was a Boy Scout troop camped out. Now why would they camp out at a range? There's a rather large field right over here, as you can see. It's great for camping. Now that's the first time I've ever seen the Boy Scouts camped out here, and I usually like to get out here early. Come down the road and I see a bonfire going. I smell it first. I see a bonfire going, and then I see like 100 Boy Scouts running around. So I said, nope, not get that video done today. So here I am now. And although I did make a video the other day where it was almost 90 degrees in November, the weather has finally caught up with the date. It's a little chilly out here this morning. Let's get started. Now for those of you that watch my channel just for the vlogs, this steel target here, it's perfectly safe to shoot as long as you're shooting like small pistol caliber stuff. You don't really want to shoot a rifle at this. The bullet is traveling way too fast and chance of getting ricochets. So if anybody concerned for my safety, yes, that is safe to shoot at. That's what they're made for. It's hardened steel. Got something very special today. It's a pistol that was given to me, and I've mentioned this in a previous video. It was given to me by a good friend of mine I work with. This pistol here. Now, it may look like a Beretta to the untrained eye, but it's not. It's a copy of a Beretta 92S, so it has the magazine release down here at the heel. Now this pistol, unloaded, it's actually a copy of a Beretta 92S, licensed copy made by Helwan in Egypt. Now I don't know if they made these for military use like they did the Brigadier, the 1951, and if you've watched Such's video of that he did recently, you'll notice that it's kind of an earlier predecessor to this gun. Great little gun, but from everything I've read, this one is a little bit better build quality than that. Still, it's not near what you would expect from a Beretta. As you can see, the slide to frame fit there is not terribly great, but it's been reliable enough for me. The only issue I've had with it is the magazine not locking the slide back, which I've only got this one mag right now. And it says made in Brazil, so I think this is a Taurus mag, actually, not a Beretta mag. So I'll be picking a few of those Beretta mags up for further testing, just to make sure it is the magazine and not something actually wrong with the pistol itself. We're going to take a few shots here, then we'll take the gun apart, show the insides. Overall, it's a pretty nicely built gun. And I don't see any, there's a few machining marks here and there on the inside, but on the outside looks bluing is great. And if you can see here on the markings, it was imported by N-Track Arms out of Knoxville, Tennessee, which does make it a little more special to me since it was imported just down the road here. And now the story on how I got this gun. Like I said, a good buddy of mine I work with, he and his wife were cleaning out their closets the other day, and his brother-in-law had given this to him about 10 years ago. And this guy, he's a revolver guy. He's got several very nice Smith & Wesson 357 revolvers, so he's not really much into the semi-autos. So of course he just stuck this up in his closet and forgot he had it. I don't know how you forget you have a gun. I mean, it must be a nice problem to have. But anyway, his wife was cleaning out the closet, and this all steel probably about 3-pound hunk of metal came crashing down on her head when she was pulling stuff off the top shelf. And needless to say, she told him in some not so nice words to get rid of the thing. So he did. He asked me about the value on it. So I had never heard of a Helwan. So I looked up online, said I can't really find any for sale of this model. There's a few of the 1951 copies out there, the Brigadier, but the 920, they're not really out there. And the last thing I really seen posted in any forums was from about 2009, 2010 time frame. So I told him, from everything I could find, being that it is a copy of a Beretta 92S, and that there are a lot of those surplus pistols coming in for anywhere from $250 to kind of $350 on the higher end, that this was probably somewhere on the lower end of that price range. So he said, well, it wouldn't really be worth it to me to try and go and sell it, so here you go, you can have it. I said, you sure? He said, yeah, sure. Okay, so here it is. I've thought about selling it, putting that money towards something else, but I mean, it's a nice little conversation piece. Another reliable pistol to load up for home defense, have throughout the house, safely stored, of course, and it's just a fun little range toy. It's not anything I'd ever carry. As standard Beretta, holds 15 rounds in the magazine. Because Tennessee is a free state, you can have 500 round magazine if you wanted to, if they made something like that. So I just thought it was a really cool little gun to have. The sights are your standard combat sights. I'll probably paint this front sight here. It's just, molded into the slide. The rear sight probably is removable. I don't know if it'd be adjustable per se, but it is what it is, combat sight. So I wanted to make this video before I done any modifications to it. The only other thing I'm going to do is on the slide release right here. I don't know if this was some other kind of part they put on it once it got here in the country, but as you can see, it's a little bit boogered up, and you can get these on eBay for less than 20 bucks, so I'll probably do that. So that's about all the history on it that I can tell you. Copy of a Beretta 92S. So let's take a few shots here and see how it runs. Now the ammo we're running today is Freedom Munitions 115 grain 9mm. And as you can tell, I bought this in October because it's the pink box. Now I know I said in the beginning that the magazine didn't lock the slide back. There's one little caveat to that. It seems like on the first magazine that I've put through this of a range session, when the gun's still cold, it'll lock it back. But we'll see here on video. It probably won't do that in subsequent magazines after I load it back up here. But as you could see, well, not see, you could hear, I got the steel target down here. I'm standing about 10 yards back, 10, 12 yards back. And even with these horrid combat sights, I still got every shot on target. So it's not a target pistol by any means, but for combat use, you can hit a half-man size target very easily. And that's what this gun is for. Now this breaks down just like any other standard Beretta or Beretta type gun. Lock the slide back. Push your button back here, rotate your takedown lever, and release the slide. It comes right off. And the inside, you can see, looks like your standard Beretta affair. As I said before, all steel gun. I believe the only plastic parts on this gun are the grips, which they do say Helwan right there in the grips. So overall, to be, an Egyptian-made gun, I believe this particular model is made for the commercial market. As you can see, the barrel here, or the slide. You got your standard spring metal guide rod. Barrel pops out just like a Beretta with the locking piece there. Now that's one thing that does make this pistol design a little different from most others, like standard Glock or Smith & Wesson, anything of that nature. Reassembles just like you took it off. Put the slide back on, lock your slide back, or take your takedown pin back up, and there you go. Now this is obviously double single action gun. Hammer's cocked back. You got a very short, crisp trigger pull. Now everybody that has fired this gun says, "Wow, that's got a nice, crisp single action there." You know, especially for what it is. Now the double action, it's a little heavy. You got some take up, and right about there you start feeling all of the weight, and then a break. Not a clean break, but I wouldn't really expect anything else. But it's not bad. I felt worse, and that's, you know, for defensive purposes, that's okay. But this is one reason I don't really care for a double single action for a carry gun. Got that first heavy break, and then the subsequent shots, you got a nice short break. So I don't like that trigger transition. I want the same pull every time, which is why I either carry a Glock, which is a striker fired, or a 1911. So you got the same trigger pull each time. Who is texting me at 8 o'clock in the morning? It's probably a YouTube notification. So let's take a few more shots here. Okay, for this shot, I've got it decocked, which I forgot to mention that it does have a decocker. It's not the safety model. So see if I can hit the target here. We're a little bit closer, so you can actually see me hitting the target now. First shot will be double action. The rest of the 9 will be single action. I'm amazed. Cold weather must be good for this gun. Still lock the slide back. So I'm going to finish out this box of ammo, do a few other things. Thanks for watching. If you find one of these for a good price, definitely consider picking it up. It's a great gun and an interesting piece of history, I guess you could say. Not many of them in this country, from what I can tell. So thanks for watching, and tune back in for when I get more magazines for testing.